Peace, love, and light to you today. How are you? Yes, this is the professor. I am here today for another edition of From the Heart of a Woman. Excuse me. Well, today I'm going to talk a little bit about exploring our shadow self. What exactly are you talking about, Professor? Well, let me give you a little synopsis of my week today. Today is my off day. It was my first day back to doing summer classes, night classes. I forgot to remember that I don't like driving at night. And so I have to drive 42 minutes in the dark after 9 o'clock from Fort Worth. That's my commute to and from work. One way, 42 minutes. Yes. And, well, all the rage, all the buzz right now is Ava DuVernay's Netflix series, When They See Us. Now, as a mother of black boys, watching that docuseries, drama series was heart-wrenching. It was horrifying. It was, oh my God, it just pulled out all the feels. I was in my emotions. For the most part, I was sad and I was very angry at those events. I remember when all that went down, but of course over time we forget these things. People go to jail all the time, but I forgot that they had basically railroaded 5 little boys from the ages of 14 to 16. And watching that this week put me in a place to where I was militant and, all kinds of stuff was rising up, and I was very, very triggered. Then I discovered that a friend of mine, we dated went on a couple of dates, we'll say that, maybe 5 dates. And, we enjoyed each other's presence and each other's company. And we decided that our paths weren't congruent, like going the same. He was kind of going this way and I was kind of going that way. So we decided we'd just be friends. And so over the course of a year and a half, we just stayed very, very friendly and talked and periodically on the phone. I assisted him with a couple of things. He assisted me with a couple of things. I remember, I don't know, and then we're Facebook friends. Now, we became Facebook friends after we met, which I kind of liked. That was cool, because people are so into using Facebook as a dating app right now. But nevertheless, I found out this morning, that he had passed away. Yeah, and this is the kicker. His birthday was in April, and Facebook gives you the indicator that so and so's birthday, and I did a shout out and I went on about my business. Come to find out, he had passed away last September. Oh my God! And so I felt some kind of way about that, and I was like, "What in the world?" Have been going through some things with my teenage son. He's pushing the boundaries, and I'm having to put my foot down. And some of the punishments have been very, very harsh. But, when kids think they got it all, know it all, can do it all, without your permission, mouthy, want to be disrespectful, you got to put the hammer down, right? Okay. Needless to say, I'm a single mom, and so I'm feeling some kind of way about that. And so this morning, as all my feels had come to the surface, everything had bubbled up. My norm would be, I'm a strong black woman, strong. I don't have to go through this. I don't have to feel this. push it down, settle it down, mask it, and not feel anything. Man, that's my norm. But do you know that that energy still resides within you? Emotions and feelings are a type of energy that resides within us, and we're supposed to be a conduit. You know what a conduit is? This is just a vessel for a thing to come through, like an energy current conduit. It's supposed to run through you, not stay in you. And when we push down anger, when we push down sadness, when we push down disappointment, when we push down I don't even know what else, confusion, it just gets to be too much. I don't know who that is, and so I'm not answering. Don't know who that is. Okay, sorry. It gets to be too much. We push that down, and that resides in our joints and pain and in inflammation and, around your heart, has your nerves going in, back, forth. It wreaks havoc in the body, and nobody needs that. And so I've been doing some reading on doing shadow work. What is shadow? Shadow refers to that part of us that we push down. Those feelings we don't like to acknowledge. I know for years I stopped crying. Not gonna feel tears. I'm stronger than them. Strong, independent black woman. I don't need to cry. I'm not crying. For what? For what? For what? In that period of time, my pain level rose to its pinnacle. Needed to be that conduit to get that out. So your shadow part of you is that part of you that you don't like to acknowledge. That part of you that wants to beat up stuff and break stuff and throw stuff and talk crazy to folks and cuss folks out. Yeah, that's your shadow side. That side of you that gets depressed, that is sensitive. We neglect dealing with that side, not understanding that that side of us is also an integral part of who we are. You ever heard of yin and yang? Yin, yang? We're two sides. We fit together. This part of me, my shadow side, helps me work on and bring the edge up to the side parts of me that I want to present to the world. It helps me be a better me. When I deal with my shadow side, when I do my shadow work, when I acknowledge that voice that says, I am pissed off. When I acknowledge that part of me that says, I want to just break all this stuff up in here. When I acknowledge that part, I can take a moment and think, what would be the benefit? What's the pros and the cons if I follow this train of thought, if I put this train of thought into action? Just acknowledging it. A lot of times we just go, and we cut it off at the pass and block that energy. So today I had to deal with sadness. I had to deal with my anger. I had to deal with my disappointment with my son. I had to deal with some of my financial woes. I ain't got it all like that every time. A lot of stuff came up. I got to pay for the boy to go to camp. Lord have mercy. Ugh. But I had to sit for a minute and reflect on every one of those pieces that I had to deal with and let those feelings come, let those thoughts come, fully formulate, articulate them, write them down to get them out. I sat in that space and I meditated and I followed and paid attention to my breath, and I connected with myself, my full self. A lot of times we don't do that. I connected with my shadow piece and my presentation piece, the bigger part of who I am. The shadow part is just a small part, but that part is important that we deal with that part sometimes. Now, you can't give in to shadow, because shadow will take you. Shadow will have you cutting people. Shadow will have you cussing out your supervisors. Shadow will have you ramming your car into people with that cut you off in traffic. But you do have to acknowledge that it's there in order to overcome. You can't defeat what you don't acknowledge. And that's why a lot of times one of the greatest thinkers in the psychological field, Sigmund Freud, talks about that shadow part of us can be a motivator. And I agree with that. It can be a motivator. Because once you examine the baseness of our shadow parts, we definitely can now motivate ourselves to come above and be better. So that has been my challenge this week, to deal with my shadow self. I mean, really, utterly just this morning, I had to sit in my feelings. When's the last time you dealt with your shadow self? The last time you acknowledged that part of you. See, mine, she's got a nickname. Her name is Sasha. Sasha is crazy. Hey, I'm just going to tell the truth. And I had to talk to Sasha, babe. Let me talk to you a little bit. You're going to be all right. Because Robin is going to be in control. Say that. I acknowledge your feelings. I acknowledge this piece of you. I acknowledge this part. But this is what we're going to do right here. This is how we're going to perform in this situation right here. So I advise you, don't dismiss your shadow part. Hear her. Hear him. Acknowledge it. Because to do otherwise, you do yourself a disservice. Now, I got to go run some errands. My brother is still in town, and so I get to prepare for Shabbat, the Sabbath. I'm preparing some food, and I'm going to take him around, see a couple of things in the city before we get to dinner time, and check on my wonderful mom. But I just had to get this done before I got out the door. Just wanted to let you know, love you guys. I appreciate you welcoming me into your sphere to chat with you about the things that I hold dear, the things that come up for me. Hopefully you found some value in this, and if you did, please subscribe, like, share, and I will see you the next installment. Professor out.